Hey yo, we are back again. Welcome back to another Mo Better Trading session. Man, holy crap, have we gotten some movement in the markets. If y'all had paid attention to my video on Monday, what we mapped out on Monday going into the week, we knew FOMC Wednesday was going to be a major day, that it was going to tell us a lot about what was going to happen in the short term, at least in the short term in the markets. And if you don't recall, we were looking here on Monday's candle. What I said we needed to get on Monday, or not on Monday, but during the week, was a candle to close above the 84,500 area in order for us to be bullish going into the remainder of the week, and then possibly into next week. And if we were able to break these areas, we lined out exactly where we would be looking for price to push up to. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead, go take a look at it. Had a lot of good information in there. And man, it happened again. Price is moving exactly as we've expected. So after consolidating in this area between 78,000 and 84,500 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, right? Since last Monday, we've consolidated under this area. And finally today with FOMC, we got a huge candle to push through. This is exactly what we wanted to see, because now we have bullish bias going into the remainder of the week, possibly going into next week. And we have some really juicy levels to be looking at here. So on the daily, as you can see, we have confirmed support at 82,600, the $82,600 area. So now, essentially, in order to remain bullish, what we do not want to see is this be broken, right? Because that would be very bearish. This has now become a very focal point of support in the short term. So we do not want to see candles close below here. Preferably, I wouldn't even want to see candles come close. Maybe we have to pull back, again, create a wick before we can start moving up. What I would like to see here is, which this may or may not happen over Asian and London session. Typically, these are sessions of, well, at least Asian session can be a really like consolidated session where price doesn't move very much. But as you can see here, just taking a look at this daily candle that we just started, it is now 7:17. So this candle has only been open for 17 minutes. This is of course Thursday's candle, even though today is Wednesday, is working on Thursday's opening candle. We pushed up immediately without creating a lower wick, which can be one of two things, right? Either it can mean that we have extreme bullishness and that we won't even need to break this wick because there's nobody basically looking to or nobody to sell to down here, meaning there's a lot of bullish momentum going up. Or what I would prefer to see, obviously, is this candle come down and wick down, create a wick. Who knows how far that wick goes? Maybe it comes down to 86,000 or something like that. Really, the deeper the wick, the better. Would obviously give you an area of support that you could get into. So you'd want to see it building support on the lower time frame if it were to come down like this, and then be able to recover this area on the lower time frame and continue pushing up. Okay, so right now we don't have a wick being created, so there's no trade to take. If you were looking to long here, you are more than likely going to be in for some serious suffering, because we've already pushed up, what is this? More or less 7%, 6%, more or less 6%, right? We've already pushed up 6% on in just a daily candle. So you want to see some retracement and then some support to be formed on the lower time frame. So let's go down and look at the lower time frame and see where we could potentially get some price action to develop. Yeah, I guess there's a few different places. Obviously, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and working on the 9th bullish candle in a row. We don't want to see that. What we want to see is some resistance be created on a higher time frame. So 4 hour would be ideal. If one of these next two candles, or even maybe the next two 4 hour candles, would probably be even better. If they can finish bearish, that means that on the lower time frame, even on the 1 hour, we can look to see if we can get some support being developed and respected. So at this point on the 1 hour time frame, you can see we are creating support down here around the 85,200 area, right? 85,250-ish. Okay, and as you can see, we got 1, 2, 3 candles with no wicks at the bottom. In my opinion, that's not a good thing for immediate term, right? So what we'd want to see is either if this candle were to finish out like this, cool. If it were to finish out bearish, we'd want to see another bearish candle that kind of pushes down maybe here, and then see if it can create a wick or whatever, and then see if we can get some support to be created. Maybe support has to come down a little bit further than where it is currently. Let me change that color actually. Whoops. That's fine. So maybe we have to get support to come all the way back down to 85,260. That's very possible. But if we were to get support being created, around here, and we would get another candle that would create a wick and push above this high, then we could potentially push and retest the highs at 87,500 and possibly higher, right? Of course, that is just speculation. Price is not giving us anything we want to see right now, but these are just things we're preparing for, right? Preferably what I would like to see is price make its way back down here and maybe touch here and then form some type of support around this area that would give us a trigger to go long back up to these highs, and potentially fill in some more of this range up to about this $89,000 level. I think that would be a good level to get to over the next couple of days in order to sustain some really good bullish momentum. Otherwise, again, we're just gonna wait and see. Maybe we just consolidate like this here and then we push up. That's very possible. We could do something like that. But for now, the best thing to do is just to wait at least until pre-London, London Open, and possibly if there's nothing developing at that point, wait for pre-New York, New York Open. Again, if you're looking to go short, which could be risky, but not necessarily a terrible idea considering how far we've moved up. You would want your stop loss to be above this area, so you wouldn't want price to come back above here, obviously. And if we were able to break below these lows, then you could take a short, if you wanted to, down into these areas and see about, maybe getting out around 86,000, something like that. If you wanted to look for a scalp, personally, I'm not going to. I'm in the bias now that we are in just bullish momentum with such a large daily candle creating large volume bullishness. To me, it doesn't make sense really to go short at this moment. You are better served waiting for a low time frame signal to give you bullish momentum to push back up to highs and possibly make new highs, right? So that is what we'll be looking for. But man, you can't, after having so long now, we've been over a month, right? Over a month. I think all of February. We're all of February and most of March. We've just been negative or sideways. To have some finally really strong bullish momentum come in feels really, really good. Hopefully we can sustain that. Obviously, if we were to trade below the low here at 81,600, I know I said around the 82,000 area, but obviously on lower time frame, you can see that we've created support at the 81,600 area. So obviously, anything that would get, if we were to do like this and trade back over here, that would be very bearish, right? So if we were to do something like this, get back underneath and then, retest, do like a bearish retest and break lower, then we would look to be getting short, come take all of this. Otherwise, the only way we would be looking to get short at this point, is higher time frame confirmation. So you would have to, in order to get short and remain short, I should say, we would have to break below 81,600. Otherwise, I'm just looking for some short-term bearish price action that will get us back up towards the highs for Bitcoin, right? Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum now. Let me go back to the daily time frame. We're going to go to Ethereum. We're going to look at this, man. This is just beautiful. This is just beautiful. And again, as we talked about on Monday, we had just been trading in between this price area. There was nothing to do until we can get a bullish candle to close above 1955. Now, in the Discord, I was looking at this candle here, and I told the chat if we get above 1940 during Asia, that we would have some momentum heading into pre-New York that should be able to push us at least up to 1960 area. Now, we obviously blew way through that and got all the way up to the 2060s. So got even $100 more than what I would have been looking for. So I was not in on the Ethereum trade just because if y'all haven't seen the previous videos that I put out, Ethereum has been the worst asset to trade. So just not trading it, right? But as far as just looking at momentum for Ethereum is really good for alts. So the fact that we got some really bullish momentum, a fantastic push through this really key support area. Now we can be looking for continued momentum for Ethereum and for alts, and of course for Bitcoin. But as we know, alt season does not come without Ethereum moving, so we need Ethereum to move in order for alts to continue to move, and it is doing its due duty. It's due duty. That's what it's doing. So cool. All right, so on the 4 hour, now you can see, right? This is what I love to see develop. What I love to see develop is something just like this, where we have clean range. Look at this clean range. Look at this. This is 4%. That's $83. That's $83 of clean range to move up to, right? Beautiful. So now what we don't want to see, obviously, is we don't necessarily want to see these lows broken. Now we could backtest this 1950 area. I think with the move as strong as we got, we don't want to see a full backtest of this area. So let's go ahead and, we see some support being created on the 4 hour. Let's drop down to the 1 hour. It's kind of ugly. It's kind of muddy support, right? So I would say the real support comes down here around 2000. Okay, so we want to see this area hold for sure. Obviously we had the highs, break, the retest, and the continue push, and now we're kind of pushing back lower. So I think that this would be a good area to look for longs if we were to start breaking lower, right? We could start looking for longs around the 2000 area. If we get that low, if we only come down, into maybe the 2020 area, we can start looking for longs to form here. But either way, I'm looking for longs. I'm not looking for shorts. The only way I'd be looking for shorts if we got down here and we started to break below, retest, then you look for shorts, right? And even if you wanted to be risky and take the short below that area, okay? But otherwise, I would be looking for, if we're gonna just consolidate and hang out around here, that's cool too. Then we just wanna look for something where we're gonna get a break above this high. And if it were to give us a chance to retest, you could get in here. If not, otherwise you can take this break, anticipating that we're gonna get a continued move up to around 2140. Yep, otherwise, again, you wait for here maybe, or you wait for here. Something like that. Okay, so yep, that's Ethereum. Looking good, looking great. Not able to say that too often about Ethereum. It's mostly AIDS, but right now it's looking wonderful. Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and drop down into Solana now. Go back to the daily. Solana. Whoops. Man, just love all the bullish momentum we're getting. Solana dipped down, been in this range. We got the move above $130. I mean, you could have taken this trade above $128. Really kind of annoyed I wasn't paying Solana any attention, to be honest. But that's neither here nor there. So now what we would be looking for is obviously we are wicking down. So maybe we need to come a little bit deeper. You know, maybe we need a wick that comes down like this. And then a break back above these highs at 136 should send us, you know, into this area, maybe all the way up to 153, maybe it even higher up into 160. Let's go ahead and drop down onto the 4 hours, see if we can get a little bit better picture. Okay, cool. Sweet. Got a pretty good picture being painted here. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me. Pretty good picture being painted here. Okay. So what we have is we got obviously some resistance here around $139. I would say this is probably minor resistance here, right? It was a good area where we retested and then broke down. So could be considered heavy resistance. But, you know, if you wanted to take a short-term trade and you weren't confident in holding, you could look to, you could look to take a trade, you know, just something like this. Granted, given that this remains this way, depending on how the wick would look, right, you could probably have something that would be, you probably wouldn't want to wick down too far. So you could do something like this, you know, just have like a really small, it's not really a small area to gain, still that's quite a move. That's a good, it's a good $3, so about 300 pips, right? That's a pretty good move, regardless. You know, as long as your stop loss is at a reasonable spot. If we drop down to the 1 hour, holy! Obviously, you don't want your stop loss way down here. That's way too fucking much. On the 30-minute, man. So I would say that you wouldn't want this really to come down, you know, any deeper than like $133 or so. Maybe find some support around right here, and then if you wanted to, at that point, see how price is developing, you can move it down. But to be safe, you'd want to get this high broken. If this high is broken after pushing down, then there's a good possibility for it to move up to at least $140, potentially higher. You know, maybe up into this $141 area, and maybe even higher than that. Again, we got really clean range. If we can get above $140, $141, there's a ton of clean range to continue moving up for Solana. But for right now, again, you know, during Asian session, I would anticipate that we're just gonna kind of range and see what we can get during London. All right, cool. Hope that makes sense to y'all. Yeah. The only way we'd be looking to go short is if we started getting some rejections around this area and like support to form and then support being broken, right? So if we were to get a move up like this and then it starts to stall out and breaks down, then you could look to go short. But until that happens, I would not be looking to short right now. Only would be interested in longs. Cool. Oh, man, this is never going to be old for me. I'm never going to get tired of talking about this next chart because I love all of the controversy that comes with it. You know, not even on any dramatic shit. I mean, I guess it is kind of drama, but it's just so funny to me. Let's go take a look at XRP, man. Let's go take a look at XRP. I told y'all, man, where did I have it mapped out? I was on this one. Man, I told y'all way down here that XRP was showing a ton of strength relative to the rest of the market, that every move down was being bought up really well, that it was consolidating, it was holding levels, and boom, we got the break above 234 and absolutely skyrocketed to 260, right? Still, again, went even higher than I was anticipating because I was thinking that we'd probably get some resistance around the $2.51 to $2.53 area. And we just ended up coming all the way up and basically retesting 260. So that was an amazing, amazing, amazing move. Look at this, man. Look at this. This is where I was telling the group chat, you know, if we got, in the Discord, if we got above $2.30 that you could take a buy during, London. And boom. I mean, we got a massive move. This moved up about 11%. Now we're just consolidating, settling within this range, which is fine. Maybe we get something like this and we can get a move back up to this area, maybe up to this area. Who knows? Maybe we just get back up to resistance for the day or for the week. And this is kind of where we start to tap out, right? Like, so maybe we get up here and then we start to stall out. And this kind of becomes the range that we're playing in right now. We'll have to see. We want to see this $2.47 area hold. Otherwise, if we get a strong, like this candle were to come all the way down and like close down here, and then the next candle were to push down, then we would anticipate that it's going to fill this gap. Obviously, we wouldn't want to come down too low. Probably not too much lower than $2.36. But yeah, I mean, there's still obviously. It's still got support around the $2.22 area, but I don't necessarily think that it needs to come all the way back down there, or even close to there, or really that it should. I don't necessarily know that it should come all the way back down there if it's going to remain bullish. For me, I would love for it to get up here, and if we can continue breaking above these highs, get some bullish momentum, and boom, we have a clean run of candles. As y'all can see, we have clean running candles over here. I would love to see something like that develop. Whether we get all the way up to 295 or not, who knows? Could take some time. But this is what I would prefer to see for long scenarios, especially with how strong the bullish candles were. Now, it's very possible that, maybe we get some support, boom, break up, again, get some resistance, and then break down and just play this range. It's possible that we do that as well. It is very possible. But I like the odds of us getting, back up here. And if we can break and hold this area, I like the odds of us going higher. Maybe not all the way to $3, but, at least to the $2.70, $2.80 area. Yeah, so that's what I would be looking for, right? And yeah. So bullish, really bullish across the board. There's a few different things that we can still see. Again, we still probably need to see some areas to be retested. It's not necessary that we do come all the way back down to the breakout, but we should at least come, somewhat close in order to feel confident once bullish candles start forming on support that we are going to continue pushing higher. All right, cool. So that's gonna do it for me. Today is, what is today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, that is gonna be our little midweek review wrap up. Everything is looking really good right now. Hopefully we can sustain this momentum going into the rest of the week. But I think that, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that we have OPEX with March options expiries happening on Friday. So that could be some very volatile movement as well. We're gonna have to see what Friday is looking like. I think it's this week. It could be next week. It is very possible that it could be next week, but I'm pretty sure it's this Friday. So still a lot of volatility coming across the board. There's been hella volatility in these markets. There's been a ton of profitable trades to be taking. You just have to know what you're looking for. You have to plan ahead. And once you get what you want, once you see exactly what you're looking for, just don't fail to execute, right? Just execute. Whether you win the trade or you lose the trade, doesn't matter. As long as you executed on what you wanted to see, you got what you wanted to see, you gave it the probability that it deserved. And from there, there's no saying what's going to happen. But the only thing you can do is execute on the opportunities that present themselves. There's a ton of them being presented right now. Even in bearish trend, And so you really got to capitalize on moments like this when we are ranging in these big ass ranging areas. Technically, again, we're still ranging between 94 and 78,000. Like, that is a massive, massive range, but that is technically still the range that we are really playing within, right? When you get massive ranges like this, you have to take advantage of the volatility, and volatility has been in abundance lately. So I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week trading. We will come back more than likely on Saturday to see how the markets are wrapping up. But if Friday is really volatile, we might come back Friday evening and see what the week was looking like and kind of wrap things up. But until then, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.